to the channel. Now today we're going to have the head and the barrel vapour blasted, so we need to remove them. We believe that the engine is very low mileage, so we don't really want to take it to bits if we can get away with it. But we do want to paint the head and the barrel, hence we want it vapour blasting. Not your conventional working gloves, they are out of a hair dye kit because we've run out of latex gloves and they're on order.
Well, they're not latex, are they?
What are they?
Nitrile rubber. Nitrile rubber.
Nitrile rubber?
Nitrile rubber? Something like that. Anyway, you know, the surgical gloves.
Yeah.
We haven't got any.
Yeah, well.
Right, so, do that first then. First of all, the spark plug's got to come out.
That.
Yeah.
Was going to take the spark plug off first, but I think probably the carburettor first might be better.
Oh, stop rustling.
I know, just thinking.
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, that is the gloves rustling. It's not Tina's joints. Sorry, everybody. Oh, that is hilarious.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Where did that go? Was there a little... Oh, yeah, there's a hole just there.
Yep. That
Right.
pulls, that because the pipe came through.
Okay.
I'm even rustling at that.
More rustling.
That's looking pretty clean.
That engine's running lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good.
Okay. In the box. This is a little bit loose. It probably would work, but it's going to be better to use the kit that Graham's got, which is impact socket, because from his experience, it will fit better and it will be a tighter hold.
Yeah, it's a tighter fit with those for some reason. I've had this before. It was on the Honda, if you remember, anybody who's watched the Honda assembly, I used it on some of the head studs there because the standard chrome vanadium ones in 2 sets I've got were really loose, and for some reason this impact socket set is just a lot tighter.
Right, now I thought I was being clever and I went for the 10mm,
Which does fit.
but
That bit don't fit it.
no. So, oh look, there's another 10mm.
It's so painful. Don't forget to. And then the other thing was,
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna sprag on you. Somebody's saying that. She was trying to go. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. It's all part of the learning process. That's why you're doing
Yeah,
it. Right.
sometimes it's painful. Yeah.
Unto though, just undo them two.
Oh, is that ready yet? Ah, yeah.
I'll do the other one as well, though.
That one.
Yep.
Oh, that feels. Yeah, they both are.
Oh, I'm sorry about the. They've just started working next door as well, so it's just one of them days.
Oh, and there we have it. And it's off. Ooh. Clean.
Looks not bad actually.
So now I'm going to remove the nuts from the rocker bar. First I'm going to undo the lock nut.
So with the lock nut undone, you can now take the adjuster one down as well.
Take it all off.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, yeah. And that's the tappet off.
Yep.
I'll put that with it as well.
Yeah, so we're just keeping
There.
them separate. So
So we'll do the same with this.
Yep.
Okay, so I think
hey,
we got that.
oh, the oil. We have oil.
Oh my goodness.
Right, let me just get a drip tray.
We're gonna take these pedals off next because of the oil coming out here, and we need to get the whole of the engine in the tray to catch the drips.
Because we're working inside today in the house because it's cold and horrible and miserable and horrible and miserable.
Well, it was when we started, but it's quite nice out there now. There you go.
Typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, my fault. I honestly thought that I had removed the oil, but clearly not.
That's better. I can see it. This is a cotter pin which needs tapping out, but I need to protect the thread before I do that. So I'm just going to lift the nut up, and now we'll just tap it out. So that's worked. I hope. Oh, yep, there you go. That's come out now. And that's pedal number 1.
So these cotter pins have got a taper on them and usually an offset thread. Yeah, it has. So it's not exactly in the middle of a piece of bar, and that goes into there and tightens down. It's the old bicycle system. Don't think they use them much nowadays, but so that's that side, and now I'll just do the other side exactly the same.
We just need to remove the push rod now. Ooh, that's a long one. It's accompanying music. Rustle, 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 rustle.
And the push rod. There you go.
The push rod.
And they're the components. Simples.
Yep. Oh.
Right, excellent.
Yeah.
Right, that's that one. So we need to do them in opposites. So this is the next one to do.
Right, okay. So fine. Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, that was quite loose.
Now these two.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Fine.
Right.
Okay, so we can take those out now with the ratchet, easier probably.
Right.
And again, opposites, little by little.
Little.
Sorry about the camera waving about all over the place.
Right. This is good practice to make sure that when they go back in the right place.
I used to do that with push rods on old engines as well, so you always got them back in the same place.
Yep.
Excellent.
I'm just going to give it a very gentle tap.
That's got it.
Oh yeah.
I can see it.
the,
Yeah.
just make sure it'll come off. Okay. Ah, yes.
There you go.
What a difference that makes.
Oh.
Ooh. Gums.
Oh, it's only dirt.
Right, we've put the pedal back on temporarily because we need to bring the piston up as high as we can.
Now, I'm a bit concerned here because this looks like either this has been replaced or something. I've got a sneaking suspicion with the amount of washers on there that this has been stripped at some time. But we will find out, or Tina will, when she takes this off.
Did that move or did I fall? Oh, it moved. No, it moved.
Good.
Well, we used a 10mm on this one, but this needs an 11mm, which probably confirms Graham's concerns.
It's a bodge.
Yeah.
Well, it felt tight, so might not be the end of the world. It might... Right, just stop a minute, because you see how this is catching underneath here.
Yeah.
So if you take this one out
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
off first, then when you undo that one, it'll probably help to lift the barrel off, which is a good thing.
Three.
Yeah, it's too long, that's why. Hopefully it'll be the right thread and we can just get the right bolt to fit that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so if you put that with the ratchet on,
I'll certainly have earned me fish finger sandwich for lunch. Right, just some gentle taps, but they have to be where the bolts went, because if you tap on the fins you could damage them.
yeah, and if you hit that casing as well, that
Yeah.
might snap. So
Well, I'm just going to use this head scraper to see if we can actually...
oh,
right,
oh, it's gone. That's typical, isn't it? That's it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, hang on. Whoa, let me round.
You can have the honour of taking that head off. Be very gentle because it's got to come up off the piston rings. Don't break the rings. Just ease it and wiggle it and jiggle it and wiggle it.
Jiggle it. Oh, does it come off
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah. Keep going.
Oh.
That's
Whoa!
it.
Got it.
Ah,
See through that?
hey, I tell you what, that bore looks brilliant.
How clean.
Apart from
Well,
the
look at that.
top of the piston. No, that's good. That bore is
clean.
fine. That engine's hardly been used. Wow. Now, you need to wrap some blue round the bottom of that piston.
Yeah.
And that's it for that bit. So that's the next job done. I'll also put a plastic bag around there for protection, and then this will go into a big bag and we'll protect it. The next bit for Tina to do is to remove the valves.
These are valve spring compressors. You choose the size to fit your spring. So this will help to push the spring down, and then when the spring's pushed down, the two little collars that are on the top there that will be shown should drop out.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, you can see the two collars and they're opening up.
That's one.
That's one, yeah. Where's the other one? That side.
On the other side.
They're the two collars. This is the inlet valve because that's where I took the carburettor from. Oops, keep on, come on. Here we go. Now,
These can be just come out now. There should be a spring and a collar.
Yep.
Yep, okay. Sorry, a spring and a cap.
Yeah. Let's put
So
them
that's
there
what the
for now,
collars are trapped in by that thing. You see they've got little ridges on them.
yeah. So I've just pushed the valve out from this side. So hopefully that should...
It might be a bit tight if it's an old engine, because that's the principle.
Yeah.
And then the next one, this valve here, is going to be the same way. In fact, I think that, look, it even says it on it. Inlet.
Oh yeah, in. Yes.
Input. And this is the exhaust.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So we'll just pull that out, and then we'll do the same thing with that one.
Yeah.
And then that's all ready to go off for vapour blasting and painting. So we had a bit of an issue with this head, with the valves anyway. The valves should move freely in the valve guide. The exhaust valve does very well, but the inlet valve was basically jammed. It's not closing. It was closed with the tension of the spring, but I'm not going to force that back in, and it also wouldn't remove back out this way. And the problem was from this side, if we can see that, this end is all burred up. It should be like that one, all perfectly good, but this one is all burred up. Now this is where it sort of gets a little bit complicated for your complete amateur who's never done anything before. For Tina, for example, she would have actually resorted to tapping that through with a drift, and that's exactly what we don't want, because those burrs on the edge of that valve stem would have actually scratched and scored these valve guides, which I can't get hold of any new ones that I can find at the moment, so they're going to have to stay in there. And you don't want scratches or burrs on the inside of those, because they need to be really good condition so that the valve seats properly. And this, so I actually had to file this edge round here, if you can see that on the valve stem. I've actually had to take the edge off that stem to even get it out, and kept filing until it would just pull out, which it does now. So this valve is probably gone, but you can see all the crud round here, which explains why the bike didn't have any power when we got it. So I've actually ordered 2 new valves. They're only about tenner each, so it makes sense. Well, you can see there is some sealing there. That's quite clean. But anyway, so I'm going to lap some new valves in. I've ordered 2 new ones. They're only £10 each, and that solved that issue. But that was a bit of an issue we had, and that was probably from an over tight tappet that's burred it over. But anyway, that seems to have solved that problem.
Right, the decompressor needs to come out, and it's held on by this spring washer. So, oi! I'll find that. Yep.
And now you can do crawling under there
Oh.
to find the washer that you let fly.
Before we put this into storage, we've been scraping it to try and get it a little bit cleaner.
That could give us an extra 1 mile an hour. In fact, that's it. That's the job done. So everything's ready for vapour blasting, and then we're all ready to, once that's done and cleaned and painted, we'll put that engine back together. This casing, I think if we just clean it up and take this tinware off, we should be able to paint that okay without dismantling the whole engine. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. And it's imperative not to let any of this gunge off here either get into the bore, into the piston. So once that's all done, these rings, this will all be cleaned as well. I'll use a air compressor just to blow any debris away, and do some better protection around here, or Tina will, to protect this so nothing goes into that engine. Right, so that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Rustle, rustle, rustle.
Stop rustling.